Acts 17:28 says, in God we live and move and have our being. Now, my friends, this does not have to be some airy-fairy, esoteric kind of idea or understanding, but here's something that might blow your mind. What if this all around us, this primordial soup, this ether, this substance that we are breathing in every day, not just oxygen and nitrogen, but this biophoton resonance. There's science behind this. What if this stuff that we live in, this is God? This atmosphere that we live in, this energy, everything around us is moving. This is the creative life force energy that flows in us. We are in God. We live and move and have our being. Let that soak in for a minute. Because if you consider that, I want you to consider that every breath you take, you breathe in God. Every breath you breathe, you're breathing in more life force energy. You're breathing in more God. Every single breath you take is more and more God. That is creative life force expressing itself through you. You are the expression of God. You are the embodiment of God. We are made in the likeness of God. And it doesn't matter whether or not you call it God or Allah or Christ consciousness or source or creator. It's the infinite intelligence that made us all. This life source that created through thought and vibration, through sound, through word. This is how we live and move and have our being. This is how we're created. So you are the elect. You're moving. God is in you, dwelling in you. Did you know that even your DNA says it? Yes, look it up. There's DNA. Your DNA says Yahweh. And it's crazy. The reason I'm saying this is because you have life force energy moving through you. It is God itself moving in and through you all the time. Every breath you take is another breath of God moving through you. Now, a lot of times what happens, though, is when we breathe another layer of God in, it gets trapped in our own belief systems, our own limitations, our small-mindedness. But my friends, that is just the opportunity for us to recognize those limitations, recognize they're coming to the surface, as the dross does for silver, right? When you are purifying silver, it gets heated to an extreme level, and then all of that, everything, all the impurities, all the things that are not perfect silver, float to the top so it can be skimmed off. And in the same way, that's what life force energy does for us. It moves in us and attempts to move through us so that we can clear off everything that is not perfect, that is not in alignment, that is not God force energy. So God is vibration. God is frequency. And every frequency, think about how you've seen vibration. It's a wah, 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 right? There's sound vibration, right? There's a wave to it, right? All of that energy is constantly flowing through us. It's a wave, and it's coming up against into you, this wave. And depending on where you're at in your identity, if your identity is filled with potential and possibility, and knowing that you are the child of God, that you are a source having an experience, when you're in that, you're in a peak state of that wave, then inspired desires come through. And you hear it and you feel it. And those create intentions. When you create an intention in that inspired desire, that peak of the wave, when you're in that peak of the wave and you feel an inspired desire come in. Inspired means in the spirit, desire means of the cosmos. That inspired desire is an idea. It's a peak idea that you're getting from this creative life force energy flowing into you. And intention is like the spark plug that ignites the fire, ignites the gasoline, that wave that's moving, that energy that's pushing through you. It's ignited when you have an intention, when you set an intention, it gets ignited. That energy that's flowing through gets ignited. And then as that energy continues, and then when it's ignited, now you've got like this whoosh. Have you ever blown hairspray into a fire or whatever, gasoline into a lighter or something? You see that big puffball of fire happen? It's in the same way. When you set an intention, when you're in a state of inspired desire, it's like a whoosh ball of fire that goes out into the surrounding. It goes out into the field of consciousness that's surrounding us, that God field. And then everything starts to rearrange itself to now line up with that new intention. And so then as you move through God, in God we live and move and have our being, as you move through the world and you're experiencing stuff, that life force energy continues to come through you. And every time you have an opportunity that comes through and you allow it either to continue to pull you towards the intention, the new identity that you've created, or a lot of times what will happen is the old limiting beliefs come up, and that causes tension in your body. There's a part of your body that creative life force energy is not moving through. And so the key is to just allow yourself to feel that. Let it express itself. Breathe through it. Breathe more of that God consciousness inside. Breathe more of that connection of God into you. Breathe more of that energy in. And as you breathe it in and you relax, your nervous system starts to relax and realign to that intention that you set. This, my friends, is the science of manifestation. It's becoming the version of you that inspired desire connected to in the first place, that set the intention. And now you just set your attention. Everything that you see, everything that you witness, everything that you're paying, right? Attention to. Attention is currency. We pay attention to something. When you pay attention to the intention, to the desired goal, to the dream that you have, when you pay attention to that, you continue to bring that forward. And your life aligns in beautiful ways that you can't even imagine. Have a great day.